Okay, I'm out at Bridlewood, and this is for Hunt Pacific, and we're looking at two things. Down below in those trees is where the entrance is off to the right, and down there I'm going to show you some curb repair that we need to do. And then up here they want to put in a new concrete pad for a picnic area. So they're going to get that bench removed out of there, and what we would do is excavate a 10-foot by 14-foot concrete pad right about where that bench is, and then create an 8-foot by 4-foot concrete sidewalk that comes out from the corner of that concrete pad, and then taper it out where this broken curb is. So let me show you. We find a good spot here where you can see my drawing. Okay, so you can see we would remove 13 feet of curb. Okay, so that's 13 feet of 6 by 8 inch curb we would remove. That's all busted out. Then what we would do is we would pour back 4 feet of extruded curb on one side, 4 feet of extruded curb on another side. We would taper it on the ends, taper it down at a 45. And then what that would do was leave us with about a 4-foot wide walkway. It's kind of a 5-foot. Yeah, it's a 5-foot walkway, but that we would taper into a 4-foot walkway. All right, so it kind of tapers in. It goes in 8 feet from this corner, as you see it right now, and then we would pour a 12 by 14 pad, and we'd make that pad 4 inches deep. We don't have to put rebar or mesh wire or anything like that in there. Just we'll probably need to put in, it's pretty soft dirt there, so I'm going to say we dig down, let's see, 4 inches plus another probably 3 inches, so 7 inches. Dig out 7 inches of grass and dirt, which, by the way, there's irrigation in there, so we'll have to make sure we do a locate and see if we can get a map from the front office here on maybe where the irrigation lines sit. But there is irrigation in there. All right. So dig out a 12 by 14, 7-inch depth, put back 3 inches of rock, and then 4 inches of concrete. On this 4 by 8 pad, or the sidewalk, same thing. Dig out 7 inches of dirt, put back 3 inches of rock, and 4 inches of concrete. All right. I marked it earlier on the drawing, but right there would be the joint that we would start at, and then this joint right here would be where we would cut it out and put the new curbing in on each side. This ground's pretty soft. We'll need to put a price in to do some restoration around the area, since we're probably going to mess it up pretty good. You've got a box here for water. I believe, yeah, it's irrigation control valve there. Looks like you got power right here, so we got to be mindful of that. But this is where that pad would sit. Okay, to show you the surrounding areas here, you've got this work zone right here. You got stalls right here that we could use for staging our equipment. All right, we'd be able to use that. We can use it up here too. There's plenty of area for staging. Okay, this next area we're looking at is right out here to my left. Okay, and I'm going to show you what's on my iPad first. We are going to remove 12 feet of 6 by 8 inch curbing, and actually it looks like 10 inch curbing. Anyways, we're removing that 12 feet of curb, and then what we're going to do is take out 12 feet by 2 feet, actually 12 feet by 3 feet of dirt, 6 inches, so that way this ground, it'll actually be about 4 inches of dirt we take out, but 12 feet by 3 feet of dirt, that's 4-inch depth, and pack that dirt so that it's level with the surface of the asphalt. And then instead of putting extruded curb back, we're going to put back a formed curb. So we'll do 6-inch tall, but instead of doing 6-inch wide, let's do a 6-inch by 2 foot, 6 foot by 2 foot curb that goes all the way around and ties into the other curb. So obviously the existing curb is not that wide, so we want to match the face of the curb out in the front, as far as, you know, location of where we're going to put the face of the curb. So we want the face of the curb to be in the same spot as the old curb was, and then we know that it's going to be wider on the back side. And the whole goal to that is just to increase the strength of this corner, because obviously it's getting beat up. People are driving over it. They're actually hitting that bollard too. So if we make it 2 feet wide, we'll be able to go from here, my foot there is 1 foot, then 2 foot, and then we'll just take this all the way around and we'll beef up this corner like a bullnose, and we'll make this a lot stronger. I would suggest we put in probably maybe 5 pieces of vertical rebar in here. Just some stakes there as we pour that in. That'll hold that in nicely. Okay, so it'll start here and then come back 2 feet. If we want, we could taper this so it goes at an angle and then makes its way around. Then before we put that curb in, I told her that we would adjust this bollard as well. So it's a steel pipe bollard filled with concrete, and I believe it is. It might be all concrete. It's hard to tell. It looks like it's steel. But we need to use our excavator when we're out doing the concrete pad up above. Hook that up, straighten it out, throw in 2 bags of concrete to help reinforce that, keep it plumb the way it should be. All right, and then finally we got to paint the face of the curb. 12 feet of curb to paint right down the end. Okay, any other questions, let me know. Thanks.